No. Good afternoon, abnormals, and welcome back to the Ministry of Abnormality YouTube live broadcast. I'm your host, O Abnormal, and today is Friday of it's a Friday. It's April. Well, oh shit. How do you full screen? Okay, how do you get out of full screen? Okay. It's a Friday. It's April. It's the 7th. It's 2023. That's all we need to know. That is all you're gonna get. I see in the chat room Sabrina, Mao, and Jamie. What a sexy chat room. Now, where is my cell phone? I can't post to Instagram without my cell phone. Wait. Let me do something here. Remember, you have to be at a distance so it's okay. Pew is actually rediscovering the Wii today. Wait, that sounded weird. But yeah, she we haven't watched the Mario movie yet. And there you go. It should work. No, it does. No, you don't have to. Wait, give me a sec. You have to. Oh no, wait. No. So we were watching like reviews of the Mario movie, to watch later on, and she was kind of like, you know what? I feel like playing Mario. I think you're gonna have to try several of the different CDs that are there. And so the only Nintendo console that we have in this house is the Wii, but Mario Galaxy is, and Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are some of the best. So, and there's also another game that she loves on the Wii that's called Muramasa, the Demon Blade. It's a lot of fun. But the problem is that since our Wii is jailbroken, I suppose is the term that we want to use. It's all just a mess of burnt CDs, and so in order to find Muramasa, we have to look through all the CDs and find it. Which is what she's doing right now, I think. No. Yeah, okay. No, it should have read it by now. Wait, what? We still have a Wii, but I'm not really sure it returned. No, I mean that thing is surprisingly resilient, but that CD has nothing, Pete. So, how are you guys today? What's everybody up to? I am. So what we're working on today is that image that we were working on last Wednesday, but I made this ship. This ship goes in the foreground. Well, no, actually, this ship goes in the midground, and these people all go in the foreground. So, I really like how that ship turned out. That's a beautiful ship. 999 888. Is this for a sci-fi project? This is for a sci-fi role-playing game, tabletop role-playing game called Traveler RPG, and this is a cover for this is gonna be a cover for that their upcoming. I think this one is called The Trailing Frontier. Well, thank you. Thank you. We're soft announcing our game on Sunday. Oh, finally, yeah. Oh, I can't wait to finally be able to see the game. So, what I'm doing here is that these ships are supposed to be far away in the atmosphere. And what I'm doing is, the way you do the shading in this on this one, to have them look like they're far away in the atmosphere, is that at this distance and way up in the sky, the only thing you would actually be able to see of the ships are the parts where the light hits. And everything else, like every other part, would be simply blending in with the sky. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing like some very, very basic shading, and then we make it so that you only see the parts where the sky would where the light would be hitting. So the idea is that it looks like it's way up in the atmosphere. Let's see if it's working. Like so, and then we just put light in on it, and yeah, it looks like it's way up in the atmosphere. What about everybody else? How's everybody else doing? What are your plans for this weekend? Yesterday we saw the D&D movie. We saw the D&D movie. We saw it yesterday. Hey, you found it. I thought it was. I'm with Pew. I thought it was so much fun. From a D&D game master perspective, I can give you that. I can give you that because that's the perspective that you're getting. The movie feels like a gaming session with my group. That's honestly what it feels like. It is chaotic. But okay, so there's this one thing that I really, really like about the movie. And one of the things that I like the most about the movie is that the movie, for example, there's parts in the movie where you feel like they rolled a one. but the movie never feels the need to like point it out or tell you that like that you're like, oh yeah, that's what happens when you roll a one. Like no, it always feels just like the way you would imagine the game to go. So the characters are constantly messing up and constantly screwing around, and stuff like that. But it it has so many references to the game without ever being like, huh? Remember that? Remember you guys like that, right? Um, so they have like an owl bear and a displacer beast and a dragon, uh, but they're never like it's just there's an owl bear and that's it. If you know what it is, you know what it is, and if you don't, you don't. In all the battles, there's a lot of like rolling ones, but they never point it out. It's just the characters are constantly screwing up and just getting into messes and stuff like that. The movie is a comedy, but I've never felt like any of my role-playing sessions were not comedies. Right? Like I've always thought that whenever I play with my friends, it's always a comedy. Like we're always laughing and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun to see the character behaviors. Like for example, the fighter, and I don't even like Michelle Rodriguez. Like I'm not a Michelle Rodriguez fan, but the way the barbarian fighter behaves is like, yeah, that's the way. So the only things I don't like about the movie are okay, so but it's like it's stupid stuff that's just me like geeking out, which would be the main character is a bard. I don't like bards. I don't allow bards at my table. But that's not the problem. That's not the problem. Bards can do more than just play the fucking lute. Right? Like the bard in this movie, he just plays the lute, and that is it. That's all he can do. And the whole entire time of the movie, I was like, why doesn't this bard have any spells or any skills, or why doesn't he do any acrobatics? He just plays the lute, and he messes up, and he's like a charlatan. Now I get it. They had to make that, like they had to adapt it that way for the movie, like make the bard work for the movie. But the entire movie, I was thinking, the bard can do stuff. I don't even like bards, and I know that bards can do stuff. The other thing that I had a little bit of a gripe with is that there's a druid in the movie, and possibly my favorite of the group is the druid, but admittedly it's because I thought she was like super hot. But druids can also do more stuff. like the druid in the movie just does shape-shifting. She just turns into animals, and that's it. That's all she does. And druids can do more than that, right? Like druids can do so much more. So it was a little frustrating that like the druid was constantly just like, either shape-shifting or doing nothing. And the other funny thing is that in the movie, the druid shapeshifts into I don't remember what beast she was at the beginning. I think she was a horse, then an owl bear, a fly, a rat, a cat, a hawk, some bird animal, a deer, a snake. And those are the ones we remember from the movie. Druids can shapeshift more than once a day, but for a druid to be able to shapeshift into all those things, she was like god level. Like that druid was like oh my god, that is like level, like supreme being level druid. That was insane. So I don't mind, like, I mean, whatever, she was super hot, so she can do whatever she wants. But I was like, not only can druids do more than just turn into animals, if she can turn into all those animals, then she would, like, she is an insanely powerful druid. But other than that, I thought that the humor in the movie was, I mean, I had a laugh. And in general, that's it. I mean, like, that is the movie. Like, I had a good time. That's it. That's like yeah, I had a good time watching that movie, and I really think that's all that, you know, what else is there to say about it? I do have a favorite joke from the movie, but I can't say it because it would kind of spoil some of the movie. So I do have a joke from the movie that was my favorite. But I can hint to it to Sabrina. My favorite joke of the movie is the kind of man that Holga is into. Like, that was, I had so much fun with that. Like that was so, oh, I love that. That was like the greatest. But yeah. Dungeons and Dragons. Have I seen Miracle at Manchester? Can't say I have. What is that? It's the newest Dean Cain movie? Oh, but it sounds like a drama. It sounds like a drama. Let's see. Miracle at Manchester. Based on true events about a community that comes together to organize a miracle for a teen battling an aggressive form of cancer. The two men fight. Yep, a drama. Oh, wow. He is looking chunky on that, in that movie. Still, I need to up my dosage of Dean Cain. Don't think Pew will be very okay with that, but yeah, I think he peaked at Future Sport. Some people say he peaked at Superman, but that's just not true. He peaked at Future Sport. Wesley Snipes peaked at Future Sport as well. Cinema in general kind of peaked at Future Sport. So help me out here, everybody. So remember, I was explaining at the beginning of this week that this week is Easter week here. How does that work in other parts of the world, right? Like, how does that, like, I mean, I suppose Sunday. Okay, so we kill Jesus today, but what like spring break and that kind of stuff? Like when is that for you guys? Or did spring break already pass? Easter stuff changes based on how religious you are. Schools will take off a week, but no businesses unless their CEO is religious. Good Friday is a holiday here in the U.S. Spring break differs between states and school districts, but I believe the district where I live has spring break next week. Well, our spring break was this week. Naturally, I didn't take a break, but you know, it was there. It did happen. Just this week, I was thinking about what is the. But I didn't look it up. Normally, I would look it up, but I kind of forgot. You know, those kind of things that you're thinking about it, but then you forget that you wanted to look it up. I was thinking, where does this whole thing about Easter eggs and a bunny come from? I've always wondered, like, where is what is that tradition from? Where'd you guys get that? Yeah, what? Why is it a bunny with eggs? Why is it not an Easter chicken or an Easter hawk? That would be pretty badass, right? Like, here comes the Easter hawk. Run. That would be more badass. The Teutonic deity Eostra was the goddess of spring and fertility, and feasts were held in her honor on the vernal equinox. Her symbol was the rabbit, because of the animal's high reproduction rate. Spring also symbolized new life and rebirth. From Google. Raijin? Raijin is like crowing in the back. Well, thank you, Mo. How has your week been? Very chill? Well, that's awesome. Mocoristador, hello. These, yes, these are freighters. And I just want to kind of give that insinuation of detail. And just have them feel like they're way up in the atmosphere. So once we add... Yeah, I think you get that impression, right? Yeah, I think it works. Wait, let me... Wow, so much stuff on... Okay. A cool bug? But wait, do you want it to be scary or just a bug that's cool and that's it? Oh, there's this one bug that has like tentacles on its head. Wait. Scary bug tentacles. Yes. It's called just gonna put it in the chat room. Yeah, that one is so scary. Actually, those tentacles are not on its head, they're on its ass. Now that I look at it. I mean, what can I say? I'm not into bugs. I am not into bugs, but this is some weird hentai. I find it very difficult to fap to this. So what's everybody's plan for the weekend? Are you really learning how to play the game? This will be the box cover for the new Traveler game. Well, it's the book cover, since it's a tabletop RPG. So yeah, this is the book cover. I have some illustrations that I have to work on for the weekend. Oh, okay. Uh, I was gonna take the weekend off, but a client had some problems with an image in their book. Unfortunately, I can't tell you guys about the book. You know, that one is under NDA. But it was basically they had one of their other artists kind of like it. How do I? It was amazing. Like it was. They wrote to me like, hey, like we have this artist that was working with us, and they turned in this image, and they showed me the image, and it's like seriously one of the worst things I've ever seen. And so they were like, hey, can you help us? So yeah, yeah, basically that is what happened. Somebody else messed up. Now we have to go in and clean up the mess. They aren't asking you to paint over it, are they? They sent me the image. If I wanted to paint over it, I could, but A, I don't do that, and B, it's not even. I mean, I'm using basically I'm kind of starting off from what that image has, but the whole image is just has to be remade. Like it's not fixable. So at first, like what they wanted was like, hey, you know, can you just fix it? But it's not fixable. You can't. It was yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So I say this freely because I don't even know who the person is, right? Like I don't know this person. I don't you guys don't even know what game I'm talking about. So like no, this is no you know, like I'm not humiliating anybody here in public or anything like that, right? But anyway, yeah, that's gonna be my weekend. But I do have to admit that it's the first time that no, wait, no. Actually, I have had to pick up after other artists' messes, but not this way. Like I've had clients uh basically go, "Hey, you know, our artist didn't finish on time. Can you help us?" Like that I've had before. Um but hey, like this artist kind of delivered crap. Can you help us? Like that one had never happened to me before. Yeah, that one was new to me. I seem to have this memory, Mr. Moko, of you having to do something very similar quite recently, right? Do you do your art on a desktop computer? I'm not an artist, so I don't know. Is it common for artists not to use Macs? Yes and yes. I do my art on a desktop PC. I am absolutely anti-Mac. I hate Macs. I despise them with a passion. I really really dislike Macs. So yeah, I work on a desktop PC, and yeah, it is pretty common for artists to not use Macs. Uh, I don't know if it's common for artists to hate Macs like I do, but definitely not using them. Yeah, that's very very common. As a matter of fact, in my experience as a teacher for the past couple of years, even desktop PCs are becoming uncommon, which is something I keep berating my students about. Like I keep telling them that like no, you can't do everything on Procreate, but they insist that they want to do everything in Procreate. Um, which, by the way, if anybody is wondering, no, you can't do anything. You can't do everything in Procreate. You can do some things, but not everything. Yes, Procreate is so most of my students these days, what they do is they don't they they don't use Photoshop. They use Procreate on an iPad Pro. But the problem is that if you want to deliver in a professional setting, you're gonna have to use Photoshop. But wait, Mo, I don't understand. Are you saying that the client had the problem with you, or that they had the problem with somebody else and that you had to fix it? I'm not 100% clear on what it was that happened there. Ah, okay. Yeah, the clients they want you to salvage it because they want it to take less time, but um I mean, most of the time it's just not salvageable. And second, that's not really something that, should be done anyway. As a programmer, it sounds very similar. It actually takes less time to start from scratch and meet the client requirements than salvaging a hastily written project from someone else. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know how it is for programming, but in artistic terms, it's also not ethical to like grab somebody's work and paint over it. Um, so you know, you don't want to do that anyway. I don't know what the rules are in programming for that. But yeah, in art, you're not supposed to do that anyway. Procreate is great for tattoo artists like my brother. He just needs to make a quick sketch and show it to their client. Oh yeah, yeah. But if you're working like for printing in a book and stuff like that, you're gonna need Photoshop. Like it's just you're gonna need it. But I I think Procreate is great when it comes to stuff like that. Like, you know, like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna do a sketch. I'm gonna or, you know, an artist that is very much aware that you can use Procreate and then take whatever it is you did into Photoshop. Like, great. At that point, it's like, yeah, use whatever you need to use. But for example, Procreate is really bad when it comes to exporting files. And every time I say that, my students are like, no, 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 no. But they fix it. They fix it. And then they go and they screw it up again. So it's like, well, okay, so did they fix it or not? Because you guys still have problems exporting files. Is Photoshop paid for monthly? Yes. Yes, unfortunately. But they're all paid for monthly now. Oh, in this case, and the one I have to fix now, I don't feel as bad. I wouldn't feel as bad kind of like just working on top of what they worked. Although that's not the case. Like that can't be done. But the reason is because so basically I got the person's Photoshop file, right? And so the thing is, I started looking over it to see like, okay, what can I use from here? Maybe there's like a background or something like that to save me some time. So I'm going through it, and in the file, I find the sketch. Right? Like I find this person's sketch. Um and I see that they had planned like a completely different image, like a very, very elaborate, like well done image and stuff like that. And my client told me that this person had actually delivered late. And so the image that they did deliver is like one of the worst cases of photo bashing I've seen in my life. So my theory is that this person had plans to do something like good, but maybe procrastinated or ran out of time or something like that, and ended up just doing whatever and delivering like this bad photo bashing. So at that point it's like, no, 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 man, I'm not gonna feel bad for you. Like at a certain point I even wonder if they paid the guy, and whatever they paid the guy, they paid them too much. We we use the full package, but that's because Pew uses it in her photography. So we kind of get the two uses out of it. I use it for the Photoshop, and Pew uses it for, well, actually for Photoshop too, but she also uses Lightroom. So we get plenty of use out of it, out of the full package. If you threaten Adobe with leaving next time the yearly option runs out, they will offer you a discount. Oh, yeah, like there's so much stuff you can do to get Photoshop to be cheaper. Like it's really insane. Like and I mean, I don't like their monthly subscription plan anyway, so I mean, why would I? Who does? But there's so much stuff that you can do to get it cheaper. I hate that everything is a subscription plan now, but what are you gonna do? Ah, thank you. Wait. Let's fuse that. You up there. Lighten, and let's see what we can... I'd say about... Out there. Okay. That's why I did my animating in Photoshop. All the made-for-animation software is outrageously expensive. Thank goodness for Blender. Um, Blender is becoming more and more it's getting more and more mainstream adoption. And the reason is because Blender is a non-specialized software that is very good, right? Like that sounds very non-specific, but it's true. Blender is, as a piece of software, it's very good at what it tries to do. So it's a good all-around thing, right? Like there's better stuff to edit video in, and there's better stuff to sculpt in, and there's better stuff to animate in, and so on and so forth. But Blender is a great option if you are on a budget and you don't want to buy a million different programs to do teeny tiny things, right? Like if you're gonna edit a movie, you don't want to edit it in Blender. But if you just need to edit a small little piece of video, well, Blender is great. You don't want to animate your entire movie in Blender, but if you need some animation software that's not going to break the bank and that you can do some decent animation in, then there goes Blender. Uh, so that's the thing with Blender. That Blender is a great all-around tool, and since Blender is a non-profit, the Blender Foundation is a non-profit, and it's open source. Blender develops insanely quickly. So Blender has many things that it can do at least comparable, if not sometimes even better than some of the, paid for softwares, because the development cycle on Blender is just insanely efficient. You got basically anybody can develop for Blender and submit it to the Blender Foundation, and so it really, really works in that sense, right? Like Blender's. Why did the music stop? And since the Blender Foundation is a nonprofit, you get a lot of these big companies like Valve using Blender. I know Ubisoft uses Blender. And Ubisoft uses Blender, and they also use modified versions of Unity. Unity is not free, but still, they Ubisoft uses modified versions of Blender, and no, not modified version of Blender. They use modified versions of Unity, and but not for everything. If I understood correctly, Rayman, Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends are made on a modified version of Unity. And Ubisoft uses Blender. So these companies, Blender's free. So what they do is they donate. They donate, and it's a good donation, because that the donation you make is gonna go, where it's supposed to go. Oh, game development is at such a great point when it comes to resources and stuff like that. Like I don't play Fortnite. I would say I would never play Fortnite, but you never know. You guys know me. I will sell out at the drop of a hat. Sorry, Like I have absolutely no problem selling out, right? So I say, like, I would never play Fortnite, and tomorrow I get a call from Epic Games like, hey, we want you to design characters for Fortnite, and you'll see me the next day with a Fortnite tattoo on my forehead. So yeah, like I will sell out very easily. But anyway, what I was saying is that as disinterested as I might be in Fortnite, the new like Fortnite became the latest showcase of the power and versatility of Unreal Engine 5. And the demonstrations I've seen, like for example, what they can do now with trees and foliage is amazing. It's just, it looks so good. Like it really, really, really looks amazing. And what they did with the game engine, that like now just the casual user can make some pretty like complex games by using the Fortnite engine. It is really, really impressive. So I think game development is going to go in a very interesting direction when like they're basically making it so easy for people to get into game development. You just gotta get in through Unreal Engine, but but it's amazing. I mean, if they were doing it with Minecraft, like if people were doing it with Minecraft, there's most certainly gonna do it with Unreal. I mean, with the Fortnite stuff in Unreal. So, okay. Well, I don't know, Mao. Considering the kind of people that are the face of Fortnite, it's like, it's like, I don't know. Am I more famous than? Okay, I don't know who they're using right now, but I know they use famous people, like Gen Z celebrities, which I am not, nor do I want to be. Never say never. Well, you heard it. You heard it here first. My life as an influencer begins. Mao has declared me an influencer now. You are the Oracle. Okay. Oh wow, you're going literal Oracle here. Okay. But wait. You didn't bake me any cookies. So you're here doing Oracle stuff, but you're not baking me any cookies? What a crappy Oracle. There are no cookies. No way. How dare you? There's no spoon, but there are definitely cookies. You can print that on a shirt. There might not be any spoon, but there's definitely cookies. Oh, you don't know how to bake cookies? I'd criticize you for that, Mo, but I don't think I've ever baked cookies in my life either, so I can't really say that I know how to bake cookies. Hey, Yuki. What's up? You want to come here? You want to say hello? Come on. And there she goes. So, Sabrina, how did your Wednesday finish? I remember that last Wednesday you were like in oh, you defined it a certain way. Like you were in crunch mode, but you said it a different way. How'd that end? Nose to the tablet. Yes, that's what you. Yeah. Anyway, is your nose still on the tablet? Oh, it's all due today. Um. But you say that in past tense, which means that you're all good now, right? I'm better, but I might be. It might be a late night. But then can you rest during the weekend or? Oh, okay. It's Dan's birthday tomorrow, so I want to be wide open in case he. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Uh yeah, you have a nice dinner. Yes. Hello, Yuki. Come here. Say hello. No, no, okay. She does not like to be held. Nope. me see what's been going on. Oh, by the way, in case anybody's interested, Epic Games has Dying Light Extended or Enhanced Edition. I mean, basically the Ultimate Edition of Dying Light is free on Epic Games right now. And I love Dying Light. Dying Light is one of my favorite games of all time. Oh, thank you. I haven't been able to play Dying Light 2. The Tabaxi baby was weird, but I agree with a reviewer that said that just in general, the effects of the movie are not great. Like just in general, the movie doesn't have good effects. But I also agree with what they said, and it's that like it's okay. Like the effects are never like they're never so bad that it looks like it's somebody's college film. But because what he was saying is like why do I give this movie a pass? But Marvel movies like, you know, why do I criticize Marvel movies for having bad effects, but I give this movie a pass? And I agree, because it's like, yeah, Marvel is like one of the biggest cinematic franchises in history, produced by one of the biggest corporations in history. It's like just like, yes, there's absolutely no reason a Marvel movie can be excused by having bad effects. But in this one, it's like, yeah, it's kind of endearing that it has bad effects. I don't know. It's like the movie's absolutely not perfect, but I mean, under no circumstance is the movie perfect. And there were definitely some things in the movie that I was like, you guys could have done a better job with that. Like, for example, the witch, like the witch in the movie, I was a little disappointed by how uninteresting her design was. Like she was just a pretty girl with eyeshadow, and that's it. Well, okay, and she was bald, but you know, I'm not gonna say that bald is evil, or is it? But like, yeah, like, you know, the witch is like, okay, just bald girl with eyeshadow, really? That's it? That's all you got? So I do think that the character designs could have been a little bit more interesting. Like one thing that kind of struck me, I don't know if that happened to Pew, but it was very close to the end of the movie that I realized that the tiefling had a tail.
Yeah.
Like, I was just, you know, the entire movie I was thinking, I would have given the tiefling like a little bit more prominent horns, like maybe horns that don't just look like she's wearing oh shit. Basically, they just put like I forgot what it's called in English. You know, that you know, the in Spanish we call it diadema. Like it just looks like she's wearing a tiara and they hid it in her head and her hair, right? And those are her horns. And I wish I wish they had given her like more prominent horns, you know, horns that really kind of well, basically the way I imagine tieflings to be. The way she was, it was just like, you know, put on the horn, like put on some headphones with some horns and hide it in her hair, and that's it. And they get away with the fact that the girl is just monstrously cute. But I was watching the movie, right? We were watching the movie, and suddenly, very much towards the end of the movie, I'm like, wait, has she always had a tail? I mean, I know tieflings have tails. Well, not necessarily, but I know that classic... No, not classic. Mainline corporate D&D tieflings have tails, I guess would be the way. Because, you know, original tieflings can have anything, right? Original tieflings can have horns, tails, wings, whatever you want them to have, right? So, okay. But the mainstream D&D tiefling has a certain way that they look, and I am very much aware of that because back in 4th edition, when I was working for Wizards of the Coast, they made a big fuss over the fact that when they asked me to draw a tiefling, I drew it like the way I remembered tieflings from 3rd edition, which was tieflings can be many, many different things. They did not like that. Oh, no. They wanted me to draw exactly the tiefling as they had it. This tiefling is more like just hide the horns in the hair, and eventually I saw a tail. I'm like, what? Oh, wow. She had that all along? So yeah. I do wish that they had gone with a little bit more riskier designs. Say what you will about the old D&D movie, but they definitely took some risks when it came to design. Risks that did not pay off, but nonetheless. I have to force Pew to watch that movie soon. She will not thank me for it. It will test our relationship, I'm sure. Oh, you just reminded me of a part of the movie, Mal. There's this part in the movie that I also like the humor very much, where they use like a necromancy thing to bring back some dead people in a cemetery so they can ask them questions. And the whole spell is that you get to ask them 5 questions, and then they go back to rest. But they don't have 5 questions to ask, so they resurrect the dead, and they ask them the question. They're like, oh, okay. And then the dead guy's like, hey, I don't get to rest if you don't ask me 5 questions. So they just start asking and at one part he goes like, okay, what's 2 plus 2? I'm bad at math. Oh, okay. What's your favorite book? I don't know how to read. Oh, come on. Yeah, I love that. Do you like cats? I don't remember what they answered, but yeah, I love that part. That part was very, very funny. Yeah, I highly recommend it. We are planning to go see the Mario movie soon, but we're actually going to go to the movies tonight again, but we're going to go with a friend that she does not like those kind of movies. But she loves horror movies. We're going to go with a friend of ours to the movies tonight, and we're going to watch The Pope's Exorcist, or whatever they call it in English. I'm not expecting it to be good. Okay. I'm learning very quickly I'm not a fan of possession exorcist type stories. I find them humorous, but can't actually get into them. Man, I haven't seen one in a while. Uh, the last one I saw that I thought was genuinely good. I think I prefer Emily Rose. I think Emily Rose is the last one that I saw that I thought was a good possession movie. And that was a while ago. The Conjuring, I think, are good in general, but I honestly think today we're just going because it's fun to go to the movies. That's it. Like, I think that's really what we're going today. I would much rather watch Mario today, but like I said, you know, this friend doesn't like do that type of movie. So, you know, still fun to go to the movies, even if it is. Will I go see the Mario movie? Yes, but only if I can watch it in English. I don't want to watch no dubbed Mario movie. And the problem is that subtitled movies are getting actually difficult to find here. And since they like, for example, Dungeons and Dragons was difficult to find. And because I suppose they just considered it a kids movie. And so they decided that Dungeons and Dragons was going to be dubbed. So we almost didn't find a subtitled version to watch. And with Mario, well, I mean, Mario is a kids movie. So all the versions, like, it's a kids movie that adults can enjoy. So all the versions that we're finding here are subtitled. And the other problem with the Mario movie is that I'm not going to go at an hour that there's going to be a lot of kids. So basically, I have to go, I think this weekend or next week, to the Mario movie, because if we don't go soon, well, I mean, the movie's doing very well. I guess it's gonna be there for a while, but if we don't go soon, we might not be able to find it subtitled. Non-kid movies are subtitled, but kid movies are dubbed. All movies are dubbed, but only adult movies have subtitled versions. when it comes to animated movies, 9.99, a lot of times that is the case. When it comes to animated movies, a lot of times we just have to wait for us to be able to watch it at home. When was the last time we saw an animated movie? In the theater, I mean. I can't remember. When was the last... What? Wreck-It Ralph? Wreck-It Ralph was ages ago. And considering how Disney does stuff, they're probably going to make a live-action remake of it. Let's see. Animated movies 2022. Did we watch any of these in a theater? Let's see. No. But Detective Pikachu... We did watch that one in a theater. But that was, well, first of all, ages ago. And second, it's only half animated. The other half is live action. So, Lightyear. We saw Lightyear at the movies. That was a waste of money. We saw Lightyear at the movies, and that was not, that was not money well invested. No. Yeah, Lightyear was the last animated movie we saw. In the theater, I mean. Night Cow, we were discussing that I want to watch the Mario movie, but I don't want to watch it dubbed. That was the full topic of conversation here. And we were also discussing the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Edmox, hello. How you doing, man? What's up? What is up, dog? You know me, just working here on some Mongoose images. Playing RimWorld, and chilling. The last animated movie you saw was How to Train Your Dragon 3. Now, I saw How to Train Your Dragon 1. It was really good, but I can't handle those movies. I can't. They just remind me too much of my late cats. Especially after they added that white dragon. It's like, oh, okay, you guys are really just doing that on purpose now. It's kind of difficult not to take it personally. You're doing freelance. What are you doing with freelance? Yeah, like the first How to Train Your Dragon movie reminded me of Aaron, my first black cat. And then they added a white cat. So now it's Aaron and Pixie. Like, oh, come on, guys. So Edmux, what are you doing with freelance, and how did you find the Mario movie? Wait, oh wow, that eye looks awful. That eye looks horrible. It's the worst eye I've ever drawn. Is that a concept for a tree house for an animated series from work or the studio? Ah, okay. I love tree houses. Kind of giving me a little bit of a Vin Diesel vibe. This guy right here. I love the movie. So many Easter eggs. The animation was gorgeous and everything looked amazing. I'm looking forward to watching it. If I can find it subtitled. Did you watch it? Oh, please tell me you didn't watch it dubbed. Did you watch it in Españolete? Please say no. I don't like his eyes. We'll revisit them in a sec. You watched it in Castellano? Ah, Hermas. I mean, I know it's not your fault, but I do think less of you. Like I know there was nothing you could do, but I do think less of you. Yeah, I find that I respect you much less. You know, I I'm quite disappointed. Let us move to nicer topics of discussion. When does Tears of the Kingdom come out? Welcome back, Sabrina. In 1 month? Oh man, I thought it was coming out sooner. Not that it like matters to me because it looks good and I want to play it, but I'm gonna have I'm just gonna have to wait until it's emulated. Because it looks good and I want to play it, but I'm not buying a Switch. So, you know. What other choice do we have? There we go. I would ask if you're going to get it at launch, but I'm pretty sure that question is totally unnecessary. You don't have a Switch? Well, mark me as surprised that you don't have a Switch. Did not see that coming. I would have assumed... Honestly, I would have assumed you had more than one Switch. I would have assumed like you had like a collection of Switches. Like one for each type of going out. Like a bathroom Switch and a bus ride Switch and what other situations? Like a church Switch and a strip club Switch. That one's sticky. And well, I don't know how things are, and I don't know what your life is like in Spain. How do I know that in Spain you didn't become like a I don't know what saints there are in Spain, but maybe you went to Barcelona and saw the Sagrada Familia and were suddenly overwhelmed with holy grace, and now you play Switch at church. Everything I just said totally makes sense. I now go to procesiones and wear this pointy cone caps over my head. Thank you, Pew. Pew just gave me giant corn. What a waste of money the Sagrada Familia was. If I even said it right, that building was my final for high school. But, Night Cow, you didn't finish it. Like, you had your final for high school, but you didn't finish it, dude. I hope you flunked. Blasphemous. Oh, I love that game. That game is so good. That is an interesting final for high school, though. You don't have to say exactly when, Night Cow, but is this a recent high school graduation or a long ago high school graduation? Because if kids in school nowadays are getting La Sagrada Familia as the topic for their final in high school, that's pretty cool. $20. Yeah, I graduated high school pretty long ago, too. 'Think I should this. Sorry. How rude of me. I think I should just give that. I think I should give this character hair because a lot of the other species don't have hair. And so it's just gonna seem like I'm bald, so I'm making everybody bald. And that's not the case. Hey, did anybody see the trailer for Blue Beetle? I think it looks fun. You're 4 years away from 40, you need life goals? Well, man, I'm 4 years past 40. Oh, it's definitely Blue Iron Man. But I mean, the truth of the matter is that I have not watched Wakanda Forever. I have not watched Ant-Man Quantumania. I have not watched Shazam. And saying that here, like in saying that, I'm here thinking, oh, I'll get to them, maybe. Like, oh. Like I'm not against watching them. Although I am one of those people that I do think that Black Panther was kind of meh. So another Black Panther is not really on my list of movies to be excited about. But But okay, Quantum Mania looked like a little bit of fun, but I'm just gonna watch that one when it's in Disney Plus. But then again, Wakanda Forever is on Disney Plus, and I still haven't watched it. But yeah, I'll watch Quantum Mania when it's on Disney Plus. Shazam, I'll watch it when it comes to HBO Max. And Wakanda Forever? I don't know. Well, one of these days when there's nothing else to watch, we'll watch Wakanda Forever. There we go. That's a hairdo. I mean, I suppose they're gonna continue making superhero movies as long as they're making money. But these movies are... I predict that they're gonna stop making so many superhero movies, but since it takes so long to make these, like, it's probably gonna take Hollywood a little bit of time before they can stop the superhero movie train, right? Because, you know, movies aren't developed the month before, they're developed years in advance. So I'm pretty sure that they've got a few superhero movies there that are like, oh, nobody wants to watch these anymore, but, well, hey, here's another one we made back when we thought you wanted to watch them all. You want something new. When was the last real new story? Well, let's see. Well, I suppose you mean in a geeky sense, right? Like, because that's the thing. Like, for example, my favorite movies from last year, for example, one of them was the Batman, but the Batman is not new. I thought it was just an interesting and refreshing way of looking at the Batman. Which I was all for. You know, I was like, great, this is awesome. It feels different. Cool. I am looking forward to. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer, but the Saint Seiya movie, you know, Knights of the Zodiac, coming out soon. I am in for that one. Yeah. There's that, like, it's coming out soon. Actually, Mao. I don't know exactly when, but like next month or something like that. And it looks. It looks fun bad. It doesn't look good. It doesn't. It doesn't look good, but it looks like it could be fun to watch. And shit, what is the name of the actor that always dies? What is the name of the actor that always dies? Oh, the chat room will say. The chat room will tell us. Sean Bean. Yeah, Sean Bean is in it. Like, it's a bunch of people I've never seen before and Sean Bean. And so basically it's I think it's called Knights of the Zodiac. Yes, it's live action. It's live action. And it's actually called Knights of the Zodiac. It's not even called Saint Seiya this time. It's called Knights of the Zodiac. You should watch the trailer because in the trailer, they show Phoenix towards the end of the trailer, which I thought was pretty cool. But the movie does not look like it. Okay. Let me try to say this without like getting canceled. So I love Asian special effects movies because they are almost always really bad. But I love them because Asian special effects movies are kind of always willing to go places and try things that Western special effects movies will not. Right? So like you get these really, really bad movies, but you get concepts that are like, oh, they would never do this in a Western movie. Like they would never do this. And it is really, really bad, but I'm glad somebody tried doing this. Like, for example, there's this one movie called The Wandering Earth that they install giant, like, propulsion engines all over the Earth to move it. And it is so bad, but it's like, I'm glad somebody decided that that was a movie that they wanted to make, and they made it. So, it's not good, but I'm glad it got made. And so that's what normally happens to me with Asian movies, right? Like they're almost universally bad, but I'm glad that somebody is making them because somebody's trying out like new and different things, even if they do it really poorly. What was the one on Netflix? It's Overtop Bike and House Fire Rescue. What? So to me, this movie is giving me that vibe. I don't know if you guys remember many years ago, Dragon Wars. That was like a Chinese special effect movie, and it was really bad. But it was so awesome that somebody was like I want to do a movie where dragons are in the modern age and they invade everything, and it's like whoever's in charge of these things in China like gets drunk and just decides to make these movies, and I love you for it. So, with all that being said, that's the vibe that the Knights of the Zodiac movie is giving me. Like just Asian movie that's going to be really bad, but I'm glad somebody had the balls to make. And I think so it's called Knights of the Zodiac, and then it has another subtitle. I don't remember what it is, but in my opinion, it should be called Knights of the Zodiac. Sean Bean's got bills to pay. Like that should be it, because it's like a bunch of people you've never seen before in your life and Sean Bean. So like yeah, Warriors of the Zodiac, Sean Bean wants to pay his house or something like that. Like that would be the most appropriate name for that movie. Oh yeah, Famke Janssen is in it. But I mean, okay. So another one could be Knights of the Zodiac. Remember Famke Janssen? that could be another name for it. I don't mean to be mean, but but I am so there. When that movie comes out, I'm gonna be there. Unless it's dubbed. It's when I am on this layer. Did I watch the one that came out animated in 3D? I watched one of them. Aren't there several? I watched one of them. And it was so insane that I can honestly say I don't remember anything about it other than I watched it. I remember I remember I saw it. That's all I remember. I decided if this guy's face is drooping. Let's liquefy it up. Or maybe his right side is needs to be lowered. Oh no, I do remember the movie. I just remember I only remember that I saw it. Like, what happened in it? Not really. Hey, what? You're not gonna move? Oh, that's the wrong tool. Okay, wait. There we go. That looks a little bit less droopy. There we go. Now we just wait for it. Is it super soft? Doo-doo-doo. I'm waiting for Photoshop to process this. So, you know. Sorry?
Barbie.
Oh, yeah. We're also looking forward to Barbie. That one looks insane. It looks like a fun, insane movie. And when we were watching the trailer, I commented to Pew, and I need to see... Okay, has anybody in the chat room seen the trailer for Barbie? And, well, first of all, it looks like a lot of fun, right? Like, I'm in. I want to watch that. But you know what I was thinking when I was watching the Barbie trailer? I was thinking Speed Racer was just so ahead of its time. Actually, Ermax, Mattel tried suing Aqua for that song Nothing came of it, but they were not okay with that song. They tried suing for that. But when I saw the Barbie trailer, other than enjoying it and thinking, I am in for this craziness, a very big part of me was thinking, Speed Racer, you were so ahead of your time. People did not understand Speed Racer. Okay, Mr. Moko, you have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Now, if anybody watching here doesn't really know what I'm talking about, go watch Speed Racer. Speed Racer is... Okay, so what I like about this new Barbie movie is that it is going with the insanity that is Barbie and not even trying to hide it. Right? Like, I love everything in the trailer. How every single one of them is called Barbie. So, no, the movie. So I love how, like, they're all called Barbie and they're all called Ken, and how she takes off her shoes but she's still standing on tiptoes, and like, I love how it just went full in on the idea of, like, yes, this is Barbie, it's insane, and we're gonna go with it. And back when Speed Racer came out and nobody was, like, into it, that's exactly what Speed Racer was going for, but I don't know, like 15 years ago, right? So I'm 100% a defender of that movie, of Speed Racer. I love it. But I think it was very misunderstood when it came out. Yes. Speed Racer was made by the Wachowskis. They have several movies that I think did not receive the credit they deserved. One of them would be Speed Racer, and the other one would be Romeo Must Die. I absolutely love Romeo Must Die. That one was so much fun. And that's also the Wachowskis. Thank you, Pew. Did you make for yourself? Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, with Jet Li and Elijah. Remember Jet Li? Dude, there's not a single day I don't think about Jet Li. I mean, I think more about Van Damme on a daily basis, but Jet Li is in there. You know, there's people I think about every day, sometimes Pew. But mostly Van Damme. And Jet Li is in there. Always on my mind. And Rodmar? I don't know who Rodmar is. Should I know? Check it out. Pew gave me mango. Mango. Dennis Rodman? Whatever became of Dennis Rodman? I don't know. Well, we're having simple mango, but it is very delicious with chili powder, yeah. I gotta make this cover more diverse. Right now, it's just a bunch of bald dudes. I wonder if maybe the far... I wonder what the feminine of the far are like. After leaving acting and basketball, he had a party with me. He had a party with you at Miami? What? Wait, I think I do remember the whole Korea thing. You have proof that you were partying with Dennis Rodman in Miami 10 years ago. I mean, okay. I mean, not to discredit your boasting, but I just, it's like, I mean, like Dennis Rodman. Like, it's basically like, I was partying with Dennis Rodman. Who? Exactly. Now, if you told me you had partied with the Shaq, I would be very envious. I would be very, very envious of you partying with the Shaq. Let's see. Let me see. I see you and a woman, Ermax. I don't really see Dennis Rodman in that photo. Or is that woman named, like, Denise Rodman or something? Like... What am I... Oh, wait, is he the guy performing? So your sister is Denise Rodman. Okay. Yeah, but you said you partied with him. That's like you telling me that you partied with Freddie Mercury because you went to a Queen concert. Which I'm pretty sure you were too young to do, but you get my point. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. But no, I'll let you change the story. I appreciate you being honest about your dishonesty. So your honest dishonesty is very refreshing. And so yeah. Well, I once wait. Let me remember what her name is. Well, okay. I once went to a bar with Zoe Deschanel, and I went grocery shopping with Ashley Johnson. So there. Tom Hanks invited you to a play. Dr. Crapula? I don't know who that is. What? Okay. We should share stories about seeing someone who's famous and change it to how we hang out. Well, the thing is, because of back in the days of the webcomic that I was going to a lot of conventions, I did like there were a lot of famous people there that I could say I hung out with. So let's see. I hung out with Darth Maul. I hung out with Lando Calrissian. Um. Uh. Okay, so your mom played chess with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but apparently Ermax shared a helicopter. You make it sound like you were getting a taxi. Just like you know, I was riding a helicopter as you do, and you know, I was riding a helicopter, just getting to work, and Amparo Grisales was there. You know, back when she was 70 years old, so that was like 40 years ago. We hung out with Millie Bobby Brown and that guy from Game of Thrones that that I was doing his sister. I forgot his name. And they had a break room and it had a chessboard in it. No, wait, I don't like that arm. He does have an extra arm, but I think we can do better. This is a cover, after all. Yeah, he was doing that character that to most people is Cersei, I think was her name. But to me, she will always be Mama from Dread, one of the best movies ever made. Oh shit, what was that guy's name? Uh I forgot his name, but yeah, I John Lithgow. Really? Oh, I didn't expect that. Well, I remember that the people that were working the convention here when they brought Millie Bobby Brown, said that she was not very nice. But at the time, she was like 12? No, wait. She couldn't have been over 15 at that time. So, like, can't really judge her for not being super pleasant at the age of whatever age she was. And besides, I mean, you get it, like, at that age, you get invited to a convention, but it's here. Like, there's not really much to do. So I don't blame her. I'd give her a chance. But Mao just, told us that she's not nice at all. Well, from the interviews, I do get the impression that she thinks she's the main character, and she kind of is. so it's like, yeah, she's got like this sort of attitude that she's the main character in Stranger Things, but she sort of is. Personally, is it Finn Wolfhard that is his name? He looks like a guy that would be fun to hang out with. We should make our own Netflix series. Can't be that hard. Have you seen the kind of stuff they put on Netflix? I think the only reason we don't have a Netflix series is because we haven't pitched it yet. And even then, we could probably just go like, hey, we have an idea for you guys. Like, what? What do you got? I don't know. I don't know yet, but trust me, it's good. So, like that's the Netflix way. Nah, bro, trust me, it's good. Every day Netflix is my service to go? Oh, I prefer HBO Max every day of the week, twice on Sundays. Thanatos! And I've heard that like you don't get rich off of like that if you get like a Netflix series, that doesn't mean you're gonna get like a lot of money. I've heard that they don't pay very well. I do wonder, like, is there somebody at Netflix that has like secret incriminating information about the actors that they work with? Because every time you see like a famous actor in a Netflix production, you afterwards see them like all over Netflix in all their productions, and then in a few of their reality shows as judges. So I'm just wondering if Netflix just like if the Netflix business model is that they have like just huge incriminating amounts of dirt on people in Hollywood, and they just go like, okay, hey, you're gonna be in our next reality show that is about people that make sculptures out of boogers and earwax, and you're gonna be a judge. They're like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, yes, you will. fuck. Okay. And like that's the Netflix business model. I think my favorite thing about Netflix judges on reality shows. Okay, no. My favorite thing about reality shows on Netflix when they bring out the judges is sometimes they'll have a celebrity that you are like, holy crap, what kind of favor do you owe? Wow, like how did you end up here judging this? Like you owe some favors. And then they'll have the judge that they'll present as a celebrity, but you're just sitting there thinking, who the fuck is that? Like they'll be like, oh, you know them from all this and they're amazing this and that. And you're like, what? What? Like, one of these days they're going to be like on a Netflix reality show and they're going to bring out a judge. You know them because they're, Mrs. Robert's son from around the corner, right? Like I grew up with them. You know them from like yeah, you know them from my childhood. And this is my cousin Stu. He owes me a favor. Like I remember when Zumbo, that they would always present Zumbo like he was the most famous and respected pastry chef in Australia. So I looked it up and it was like, no, he isn't. They just like saying that he is because who knows what kind of contract they made him sign, but no, he's not. Like, yeah, he has a couple of restaurants that don't have excellent reviews. Look, Zumbo is one of those things that I'm pretty sure at Netflix, they just didn't know what to do with their investment. Because there is not a single chef that I've seen on Netflix that, like, there is no other chef on Netflix that definitely gives off the vibe of this guy should not be on camera. Like, this guy is not for cameras. And I'm not talking about the way he physically looks. I'm talking about just the way he is. Like, every Zumbo show is the same thing. They have to get like this annoying extra host because Zumbo can't host anything. Like, so it's like this super annoying host going like, yes, desserts and this and that and right, Zumbo? And Zumbo's like, yeah. Yeah, and so here are the desserts and our contestants and everything, and what does Zumbo say? And Zumbo's like, yeah. Like, Zumbo just has no, like, that guy is not for those things. And my guess is that Netflix just invested a lot of money in Zumbo and then realized that the guy was just no good on camera. And they were like, well, I mean, we gotta use the guy. So my pet peeve with reality, especially with cooking reality shows, You can ask Pew, because I don't think I've ever watched a cooking reality show where I did not complain about this. Is the way they do time. Because I hate it. It's like, why do they do this every single time? It would not be any less impressive. Like, they always do the same thing. It's always, okay, this person has this party that they've been planning for 3 years, and it's tomorrow. It's tonight. It's tonight. So you have to make the cake this afternoon in 3 hours. It's like, okay, the person has been planning the party for 2 years, but they just now are getting the cake, like, just right off the bat. Second, no, that's not going to happen. And then they're like, what's the name of that pastry show? All of them. There's like 1 million of them. Like, you got to be more specific than that, Irmax. Like, what's the name of that pastry show? All of them. And then I hate it when it's like, okay, only 10 seconds left. And the amount of stuff they expect you to believe that they got done in those 10 seconds is just absurd. And a lot of people would say, like, whatever, it's just editing and stuff like that. Why is it such a problem? I do think it's a problem, because I think that it gives people the unrealistic expectation that things take that long. Or that little. So, and the thing is, if you told me, like, oh, this person is going to do this project and it's going to take them a week, I wouldn't be less impressed. I'd still be like, oh, wow, that's very impressive. You could give me a month, I still wouldn't be able to do it. So my favorite Nailed It episode is actually the one with Zumbo. That Zumbo goes in, he tries to do the dessert, and at a certain point, he even points out, like, there's no way I'm doing this in an hour. And he just doesn't. He fails. It's like, of course you failed, Zumbo. You're just a guy that they found randomly on the street and said, oh, you're the next best chef. Not related to TV shows, but does it bother anyone else here when there is an artistic person in a movie and they show their work like it's amazing? But to any actual artist, it's clear. Oh, yeah. But this is like only tangentially related to what you're saying, but you know what really drives me wild? Like, when they have, like, a geeky movie, and at the end of the movie, the credits are, like, all illustrated, and the illustrations are awful, it drives me wild, because I'm like, I would have done that for you guys. I'm not saying I'm the best artist on the planet, but I'm better than whoever you got to do that shit. Like, you could have called me. Like, this is clearly somebody's cousin or somebody or something like that. Like, oh my god. I'm trying to remember specifically. But I've seen this with several comic movies, but I can't remember specifically which one. But yeah, like the end credits are like all illustrated, and the illustrations are just awful. Like, oh my god, really? Man, I hope your nephew appreciates the opportunity you just gave them, because wow. They squandered it. And I do appreciate like some good credits, right? Like some good credits. I do like one of the things that I thought was interesting in The Last of Us was Ellie's sketches are amazing, and at that point I thought like, yep, that's definitely the post-apocalyptic world, because like, holy crap, can that kid draw? And nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. Yeah, this is definitely a world where we have more important things to worry about. Very sad, by the way. Oh yeah, that is awful. You see that a lot at conventions too. Artists that set up a table, sell prints, and well, and now with AI, like, oh my god, let's not even get into that. I'm very glad that like AI is becoming more and more like more and more places are basically saying like, yeah, we don't accept any AI. But the fight's not completely won yet. But that is okay. So remember how I was telling you earlier today about how the work I'm gonna have to do this weekend is that a client of mine had an artist that delivered like really bad art, and basically, you know, they're now I have to go in and save the day. But I did talk to her, you know, to my client. And so I didn't like flat out say it, but you know, I kind of did sort of touch the idea of like, how did this person, you know, end up working for you in the first place? And so she told me like, hey, what happened is that this person basically, that the artist had fooled her into thinking that they had a skill level that was higher, right, than than what was being displayed there. And what I don't get, and this is what I don't get with people that like post AI art, and look, if you post AI art, you're a douche, right? Right? Like AI art is for douches. I'm sorry. If this offends anybody, I don't care. But so AI art is for douches. But if you post it and you say it's AI art, well then at least there's that, right? But like if you're a person that's posting AI art and expecting people to think that you painted it, or posting traced art and expecting people to think that you made it, and you're using it in your portfolio and trying to get jobs with that, like my question is, how did you think this was gonna work out? Right? Like did it not occur to you that eventually you'd have to back up your claims? Like that you would eventually have to actually demonstrate the skill that you've been fooling people into thinking you have? Like that's what I don't get. Like when you fill your portfolio with stuff that is copied, produced by AI, traced or whatever. Like, how do you think this ends? Like, how does this end well for you when you get clients with that in your portfolio? Well, what happens then? What how do you maintain this lie? And that's what I see happen. Like this is a person that could not maintain the lie that they were basically feeding my client about their skill level. And yet you do realize that eventually you have to actually produce the art that you're claiming you can make, right? I like your mom's answer. That like that is for example the problem I have with photo bashing. Like because for example this image that I have to fix this weekend, when I looked at the file, it was basically, and the worst part is I'm not exaggerating. It's like the person like took a Google photo of a crocodile and then 3 photos of 3 characters and literally just paste them into the image, applied a filter to them, and then pasted in a background and did a couple of lines over it. And that was it. Like that was, and that's the problem I have with, for example, photo bashing. It's like no. You can't just photo bash everything and claim that you got, like, no, that's not how this works, right? Of course, it's bad photo bashing, but the problem is that if you don't have the fundamentals to back up your bad photo bashing, then you end up delivering an image that's just a bad collage, right? Like you just end up delivering that kind of crap to your client, which, hey, all the good for me. You know, I get extra work, I get extra money, all good for me, right? Like, I'm not complaining. More work for me, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you have to be able to back up those skills with something. And photo bashing ain't it. My my rule when it comes to photo bashing is that I'm only cool. No, I don't like photo bashing, however, but I'm only cool with photo bashing if you could have done it otherwise, and you just did it to save time, right? Like okay, if you could have painted that on your own, and you just did the photo bashing to save yourself some time, great. Go ahead. I mean, I still don't like it, but whatever, right? Like, unfortunately, we do work in an industry where time is always, we are always in a hurry. That's just the way it is. But yeah, at that point, I can live with it. Like, I can live with the photo bashing. Sure, you could have done it, but you just didn't have the time to do it, so you took a shortcut. But you could have done it. But it is so obvious when a person does photo bashing and they don't actually have the skills to do it otherwise. It's so obvious. One of the ones that makes me very angry lately is when people post AI stuff and the people admire them. Like like they post something from AI and people are like, "Oh wow, you're like how skilled." Like, what? Really? I am not very cool with living in this society of perpetual praise. Like I've always said, just because somebody said that your work was shit doesn't mean it's not true. Like yeah, it's not a nice thing to say, but was it shit? My take on Photobash is what you said, and also when you modify it enough, when you integrate it and make it fit to the rest of the composition to amp up certain textures. I think it's a time saver. It's a time saver, and as a time saver, it's like, yeah, I would have done this on my own, but they needed this today, and I don't have 20 hours to spend on this. So it got photobashed. Okay. But what if somebody used AI to make collages? Well, that's kind of what AI does in the first place. Right? Like it's kind of like an unethical collage, basically. It's just that the collage is done to such a small degree that, I mean, in terms of the sample sizes of the images used in the collage, are so minuscule that you can't really see the collage technique, but I mean that's technically what it is. Um, like there's a bunch of ethical dilemmas when it comes to when it comes to AI, but the one that they're discussing in court is the matter of copyright. The other ones, unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna really come to a big conclusion on because that those are a matter of opinion and stuff like that. I've heard, but I don't know how true this is, that like right now Chat GPT is like one of the best coders that you can find. That like I don't know how I don't know how true this is, especially because I don't do programming. I have a lot of respect for programmers. Um, it is absolutely something I can't do. But yeah, I've heard of that Chat GPT is like one of the best coders you can find right now. Like what? Really? But like okay, but Nightcal, do you need to know like at least a little bit of coding to like put it into where you need it, or can it even cover that? Like you need at least to know how to insert it into what you want to use it in, right? You need to know how it works and where, but even then it can point. Wow. Okay, that was a nice productive session. But yeah, we are lemon juice. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I think it's about time to stop for today. Um, mango and lemon juice, yes, really, really good. Especially if it's like on the green side, really, really good, really, really good. Um, but okay, that's it. That's it. That's it for me today. I am going to take a break because tomorrow I have to finish up that image we've been talking about, and I have to finish this image during the weekend. So, yeah, plenty of work to do. But, like I told the guys, I'm going to go to the movies tonight. We're going to watch that horror movie, The Pope's Exorcist or something like that. And then, kind of work throughout the weekend. So, I will be back on Tuesday. Tuesday, maybe working on something for Mongoose or maybe working on something for myself. I don't know yet. It all depends. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing on Tuesday, but I do know that I will be here. That's going to be it. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. As always, this was a lot of fun for me. So thank you all for hanging out, keeping me company, talking to me, making me feel nice and special and pretty. Let's do the whole goodbye thing. You have been watching the Ministry of Abnormality YouTube live art broadcast, and I've been your host, O Abnormal. Today has been Friday, April 7th of 2023. I will be back on Tuesday, April. I don't know why I started. I don't know what date next Tuesday is, but I will be back then at the same hour. I hope to see you all then. I wish you all a very sexy weekend. Sabrina, I hope you finish everything early enough, and I hope you have fun with Dan tomorrow. Tell him happy birthday from all of us. And I do hope you have a nice dinner. To the rest of you, a very sexy weekend, hopefully with good food and fun stuff. That's it. That's all I got. Yeah, goodbye. I mean, that was kind of graceful. You kind of just, I'm leaving, so now I leave. The end. Yeah, I saw a YouTube channel the other day. This guy that doesn't do outros. So he just finishes the topic that he's talking about and bam, the video's done. He doesn't say goodbye. He doesn't say anything. He just goes, and in conclusion, this bam, video's over. I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. But I can't. I can't do that. That's just not who I am. Normally, just drinking a lot during the stream and having to pee at the end of it is what really makes me able to close down the stream.